All right. Here you go, Uncle Pete. It's got like a 3-second delay, so you can see what it's focused on.
What you see, is that, or what the camera
Never sees. All right, that's like a 3.
And that's the delay, because I just saw you hand it.
Yeah.
Well, it really is a delay.
It's a time machine.
yeah. I'm 3 seconds ahead of everybody. Yeah.
Those kind of look like boxer shoes. Is that what they are?
Yeah. See, I'll come over, give my mom a kiss.
Yeah, I didn't get a hug when you came in
Now we'll
either.
see that.
3 seconds. There it is.
I'll give my Aunt Cheryl a kiss.
I got two now. I'm behind.
What's the B for?
Huh?
The B on the back?
That's Ein Berliner 9.
Okay.
I made the when I was cutting out the E, I did it backwards because it was supposed to be reversed. So then I just made it into a 9 instead of a E. I think we'll go with serendipity, right?
Works.
Yeah.
I was going to have the voice on here with the 3-second delay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's got to be.
Ashley, I never asked. You said iPad. This is.
That's an iPod Touch. It works with the iPhone, iPads, whatever, the Google apps. Huh? I guess you can hook up more than one of those to this at a time too. I was using Daniel's.
An electronics store. I mean, he has everything.
Yeah, I have 6 of these on the car, and then 3 more high def. Actually, 4 more high def cameras. So
What
I
do
was
they
go
cost?
through.
About $350 a piece.
This version is 400, like $399, and then there's a.
He just keeps buying them.
What is it? This one actually it takes a picture every 5 seconds plus the video.
Okay.
So like a 12 megapixel picture, and you can set it to whatever you want. So
What kind of memory does it get? Meaning,
it has it. You can put like a 64 gigabyte card in it. It's got a 32 in there right now.
1 hour, 2 hours, 20 hours?
I think it's about 2 hours for 32, maybe 4 for 64 or something like that.
So is the green for St. Patrick's Day, or you just happen to wear green?
I was going with the Border Patrol colors. They're green and white.
Oh. What did they say
Huh?
to you? Did they say anything when you went through the border?
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, don't come back this way. Stay in Mexico.
Well, I've been going through different times doing different things here. First time I went through, I was like, well, okay, I'm not going to say anything because I thought, maybe they're concerned about what kind of accent you had. So I just handed them my passport and didn't say anything. And the guy asked me what my citizenship is, and I hand him their passport, and he just kind of looks at it, and he's like, oh, let me see. And then he looks at, oh, okay, go, have a nice day, drive safe. Then I went and I just had a business card, and on the business card I wrote, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. That they drive up. Huh? So then I drive.
We'll stick with the dumb. But
Okay. Yeah. So I drive up, and he's like, oh, what country are you a citizen of? And I hand him the card, and it says, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. He kind of laughs, and okay, drive safe, go along. The next time I just kind of hold it up for the guys, and there's a trainer and some, the guy he's training in front. He just kind of looks at it, and looks in the back, and the trainer's just kind of laughing in the background, and they say, okay, looks in the car, goes, huh? You're recognizing me? Maybe, I don't know. Next time I go through, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to hide all my identification, and I'll just I'll see what happens. So I go drive through, and I'm coming down, and some lady just kind of runs out. This is a more desolate place. Kind of runs out, sees me, and says, "How's it going? Have a good day." Just waves me through, and here I'm all ready, I have like a hat on with all cameras and everything, and she doesn't do anything. So the next time I go through, I do the same thing. I'm just looking the guy, and he asks, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" And I just kind of looking at him. And he goes closer, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" And or what country are you a citizen of? Then he just kind of have a good day. Like I said, the car is just covered with cameras, and I had to. I was trying to see, people are complaining about them searching the car, so I was like, well, okay, lawyers say, okay, just don't give consent to search anything. So I put like cameras in the trunk, just facing so they could see, but they were hidden. So I was like, okay, if they go searching for stuff, they'll discover these cameras as they go along or whatever. Then this time I just had this outfit on, and I was gonna say Ich bin ein Berliner, and that's what I did. There was a pastor who had gone through, and he was getting a lot of traffic. He just sat there. He wouldn't roll his windows down or anything. He blocked the traffic, and then after a while, the DPS came out, and he wouldn't roll it down or move. He was blocking traffic. I guess he got cited for that. But they smashed his window with one of those little hammers like they had on the bus in Germany. To get out, and I had stolen one of those, so I put that like on the side, that hammer on the side of the hat.
Steal that?
Huh? From a bus in Germany. when I was in high school, so I just kind of. I recognized that hammer when I got it, so I was like, okay, I'll just put that on the side of the hat and see if they recognize it there too. So. Then there's a bridge, and a lot of people are complaining like, okay, these.
He entertains himself.
There's like these complaining that the border patrol are Nazis and stuff, that they got to stop it. There's a lot of people getting busted for marijuana at these 2 Yuma places, and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars just on the fines for people going through. So mostly, I guess they've got a law. Or some rulings that it's legal for the border patrol to stop people and ask them about their citizenship, but they hadn't ruled on whether they could stop them for like a drug search. But they kind of do a drug search at the same time. They have a German Shepherd or some other dog that can smell one of 2 things: drugs or hidden humans. So they use this dog. And the dog will alert on whether they have drugs or hidden humans in it, and then they'll pull them over the side and search them for that. So, but with the Nazi thing, I found some bridge. I guess the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation in the 1900s, before the Nazis or Hitler, used a swastika symbol. So they got this bridge in Yuma that's just covered with swastikas. So I was gonna take some pictures doing different. Things on that bridge
they might end
to
up
put in there.
thinking you're a terrorist, Rob. You could get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I don't think.
Because
Huh?
there's the terrorist problem. You have to be careful.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about
it. The deaf and dumb bit.
Is that right? So anyway, so I had
The deaf bit.
no I just signed up for their they have a what do you call it, movies that they do at Yuma. So I just signed up to do a movie for the Yuma Art Center or whatever that they do this April, that I had to get finished on the 1st of April. So I was just gonna make a short documentary film with some of that footage, some of this, and do that. So then I was working on like different hand symbols for my superhero. I was gonna go like a what was it? Kind of like a what's that, yin and yang thing, and then do then kind of look out like this, and then do like Ein Berliner 9 symbols and do some, just put some things up like that. So
I don't.
Kind of deep.
huh?
So
Anyway,
what you're saying
huh?
is you're shooting the border crossings and the rest of it for the film, for the.
Right.
And I don't get the Ein Berliner 9, by the way, when you say symbols and so on. What's Ein Berliner 9?
Well, just Ein Berlin, when Kennedy went to Berlin, and he said ich bin ein Berlin. So I just went through, and when they asked me what my citizenship was, I said ich bin ein Berliner when I went through this time.
Okay.
So we're in Yuma. We're kind of surrounded by different borders and different. You can't really get out without going through a checkpoint in California, to the north, to the south, and
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, we went to that.
Right.
We
And
went,
coming,
we went to California, I thought. Isn't that when we had the date shaped or whatever? Was
Uh-huh.
that the
no,
California
that was on the way to Yuma. That was just on the highway. We had a date shape.
You can get in, but you can't get out without going through the border
But
checkpoint.
they have a border checkpoint going into California.
Right.
From Arizona. Or from Yuma anyway. You're saying.
Right.
Yuma.
Out of Yuma.
Right.
But when we're coming back from Yuma, we go through a border check always. Like, what, maybe, how many miles out of Yuma?
I do recall a lot
They
of
ask what's your
police
citizenship.
or border people, but I didn't recall being stopped. But,
Yeah, we were. I mean, it's
well, clearly if you
minimal.
go to Mexico,
Hmm?
but why Yuma?
Well, it's not going to Mexico. It's coming back
it's
into.
coming back
No, but I
to
mean,
Arizona.
clearly
or-
that's a border.
Uh-huh.
But Yuma, but why?
It's
why-
really not a border, it's just a check, I guess, for
It's a-
illegals and for drugs.
No, but I'm saying that I understand that going to Mexico, you cross an international border, or coming back, you're crossing an international border. But Arizona to California is nothing more than a state border, but at least again, a border. But coming east to Phoenix, you're gonna get stopped also,
Yeah,
you're saying.
Right.
always.
They say they're allowed to have these border checkpoints within 100 miles of the border, and then they figure that they can stop traffic that sneaks in and then gets onto the highway that way. But they determined that places that are within 100 miles of the border, actually 2/3 of our citizenship lives within that. So they could if they go and just patrol all that area, they could basically
When you say
Check.
2/3 of our
Huh?
citizenship, you mean 2/3
of the U.S. population.
Or 2/3
The U.S. population is within 100 miles of the border.
That can't be that can't be right.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but it could be. I suppose if you consider the ocean a border.
Yeah.
If you consider
And they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing up in Canada, in New York, in those areas. It's not as intense. I think the Yuma sector was kind of the worst, just because they had deputized because they were finding so many drugs going from San Diego to Phoenix. They deputized the border patrol, so they were stopping people for just little minor amounts of marijuana, and this way they could give them a ticket for that. So, and that was one issue that people were concerned with.
Well, it's hard to believe I was going at 2/3 of the.
Well, yeah, I would be too if it was you've got the Canadian border and the
Land
Mexican
borders.
border. But if you include the oceans, I guess
Right.
12 miles offshore or whatever now becomes international waters. Most of the people do live on the two coasts, so.
I said that's it. They're allowed to make these checkpoints within 100 miles of the border, and they're supposed to be like a quick check. And now I just heard they had a show. It must have been a few years ago or whatever. They were saying the border patrol can stop you. They've had rulings they can stop you and they can ask you about your citizenship. And I think I was just kind of exploring. And then they can inspect your car and then try to determine it. But I don't think they can really hold you there for that. They can if they think you are. Oh, I didn't know if I'd be sent to the DHS today or not, but I don't think so. They have a different level of search capabilities at these places too. They don't need probable cause to search your vehicle. They can search it with mere suspicion. So if they suspect something, they can search you. So they just have different rules for that. So that was another concern for people. So.
Well, you're probably pretty safe because your father has a personal relationship with the which county jail is it?
Oh, Maricopa County.
Yeah, the Maricopa
Yeah,
County jail.
He
Oh,
knows
actually-
I told him I
actually,
called you after we got the
You
collect call.
probably better be careful because I think he's not accepting the collect calls from
Oh.
Maricopa County jail.
Speaking of that, what have you heard from Mark?
He's got a job.